The impacts of climate change are becoming more evident with increased incidences of droughts, floods, hailstorms, more hot days, and heat waves. Climate change is one of the biggest threats facing global development, with the developing countries being more vulnerable due to their low adaptive capacity. Climate change has been widely recognized and accepted as a reality. It poses serious problems with far-reaching social, political, economic, and environmental consequences, particularly in vulnerable countries. The impacts of climate change in Zimbabwe are likely to stall the country's development and pose a serious risk to food security and adaptive capacity.
Pachivanhu kwaimboitwa chinenge chivanhu so zvaibika ninge mapira maninge zvipwa vabika zvipwa muna September muyo kare mvura yacho yaibva yanaya musi iwoyo wanhingirika vakutamba chipwa chavo muna October yaibva yatanga kunaya mvura. Saka pari zvino ndinoona nokungoshereketa kuti vana adiki vemazuva anaya ndio zvimwe zvinenge zvirikutarisa kunaya kwakanaka kwemvura.
The ordinary man in the street does not want to know about the definition of climate change. But what he wants to know about is what is happening to his seasons. He's no longer producing enough crops, or planting is becoming difficult to program. Rivers are getting dry, and the times when it rains, people are seeing flash flooding, which they've never seen before. Some are being flooded, and the droughts are becoming more and more often. So they want to know what is the problem.
However, we cannot afford to be ignorant that women remain the most affected and vulnerable people when it comes to the impacts of climate change. And this is based on their role as women to look for wood fuel, to cook, to look for water resources, to provide for domestic use. And it means walking long distances, especially in dry areas. So the aspect of women and a girl child being affected by climate change in mainstreaming gender and climate cannot be ignored.
In every crisis, children are the most vulnerable. And similarly with climate change, it impacts children the most. Their immune systems are not fully developed. Their access to basic needs and to services are compromised. Climate change causes extreme weather conditions. There's prolonged droughts, there's more flooding, there are heat waves and heat stresses, and all of these extreme weather conditions impact children as they are less equipped to deal with such weather extremes.
We realize that there's no way that we can address climate change issues in Zimbabwe if we do not have an informed public. So as a result, there was that challenge that we sought to address, to say how do we translate the messages of climate change to people at grassroots level. So we set to develop a climate change communication and awareness strategy that is informed from the broader Zimbabwe National Climate Change Response Strategy. And what we wanted to do was to look into sector-specific issues, to package climate change information and to ensure that it reaches out to the targeted populace.